In assemblies, sometimes there are parts that do not come in discrete quantities. Examples of these are rubber extruded gaskets, liquid adhesive, or sealants. These are often impossible or impractical to model in Solidworks. However, we still have the need to represent these items in our bill of materials. Here is where we can make use of virtual parts. So here we have a model of a top and bottom housing with a gasket sandwiched in between. During the assembly process, I will need to make use of grease to lubricate the gasket in order to make sure that the gasket sits properly in the bottom housing. I will not be able to model this grease in, but at the same time I will need it to be represented in the bill of materials. In the assembly environment, to insert a virtual component, go to Insert, Component, New Part. Since we are not creating an actual model, we can click anywhere in the graphics panel. Right-click on the new part and rename it to Grease. If you look closely at the description, you will see that it is surrounded by rectangular parentheses. This means that it is a virtual component. A virtual component exists only inside of the assembly file. It does not have a part file of its own unless you choose to save it as an external file. So let's go to the drawing to create a bill of materials. And as expected, the grease shows up with an integer quantity of 1. However, grease cannot be represented in discrete quantities. What I need is to represent it in a volume, specifically milliliters. For a situation like this, we have the ability to create a new custom property and use it in the quantity column. So let's open up the virtual component again from the assembly tree and go to Custom Properties. Let's create a new property called Volume and key in 0.1 milliliters. Under the BOM Quantity drop-down menu, select Volume. Let's go back to the drawing. You can see that we only see the numerical value in the cell. This is because Solidworks BOM quantity only works with numbers. As a workaround, we need to link the cell directly to the volume custom property that was just created. Double-click on the cell and click Yes to continue editing. Clear the cell, and from the window, select Link to Property. To get to the volume custom property, we need to select Model found here. From the drop-down menu, pick on Selected Component. And from here, pick on Grease from the assembly tree. And under Property Name, you will be able to see the volume custom property. Pick on that and go to OK. And exit out the node. You will see that the correct number and units appear in the cell. So one last tip here, when you attempt to save the assembly, you will be prompted to choose whether to save the virtual component out as an external file. If you choose to do so, be sure to save this component in the same folder as your other components. Upon saving, you will notice that the rectangular parentheses disappear from the assembly tree. Alright, that's all for this video. I will see you in the next one.